Oh my god, my helmet could choke a donkey. Ugh. Welcome to the Southern Roots Racing Tour. This is called the Loggers Run. It's in like Chutzpah, Georgia or some shit. So I didn't know what to expect for this race. I wasn't like, this was one of those things where like I was like gonna visit one of my friends, Reagan, and there was like, hey, there's a race this weekend, you want to go? So I sold my 850 to my buddy Ryan, and I was like, well, screw it, I'll bring my 1000 with me, and then, you know, I'll go racing or whatever. So dude, it was, I mean, so up here in Philly, it's like in the 30s, and down there it was like 74, dude. So like I was sweating my balls off. Also, if you hear snoring in the background, that's my dog. He's old and he's got a smushy face, so he snores real loud. So anyway, so I'm like, you know, like whatever, fuck it. And so Southern Roots, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, all the Southern races are, they like tight courses down there, and the most miserable race I've ever had in my life was a Southern Roots race on my Scrambler. I can't, it's I think it was like 2019 or 18, but I'm just smacking into like every tree. So but anyway, now this course was really nice. Whoever's laying out the coursework for these guys did a good job, except for the Swamp of Sorrows that I eventually get stuck in. So, but I get off to a good start, and at some point I noticed that my power steering is acting up. So I felt like I slowed down after the break this year, and you know, people were giving me shit about using a 1000, and I kept saying to my friends, I was like, yo, the power steering's fucked up, there's something wrong, right? So, and we would put it on buds, and you know, there's nothing, you know, there's no codes, right? So post-COVID, so this is a COVID machine that I'm driving. So this quad was sitting at a dealer for almost 6 months without the gauge at the top, right? Because you know, there's always a shortage of something. So when I picked the quad up, you know, I thought, you know, oh cool, you know, I scored a 1000. It was gray and shit. It looked pretty, and you know, I figured, you know, brand new quad, everything's good to go. But I noticed I was having issues with like fatigue, and I'm like, well, I was like, you know, the doctors told me, like, you know, I'd had the paralyzation fatigue for, you know, a year to 5 years, but eventually it'll go away. And my PT was really good. You know, I scored middle of the pack in a marathon, you know, at 44, going up against dudes, you know, granted I was in military and shit, but you know, with each year, you know, it gets harder and harder. So, but you know, I'm still in, you know, good cardiovascular shape. You know, I do well in the gym, and I'm like, there's something wrong, you know. And then I rode my 850 at a New East Coast race, and I wasn't even winded. So this has gotten progressively worse and worse, and I noticed that my GNCC performance was suffering. You know, I did okay at Iowa, but like it wasn't, you know, but most of those tracks were kind of wide open. They were, you know, they weren't very, I don't know, it just, I knew something was wrong with the quad, and nothing, all the things were pointing to that it was just me, you know. So it turns out that my quad front diff is locked all the time. You know, I contacted my mechanic, looked at it. I had like A riders and pro riders look at it. I had B&R. I was bugging B&R about it, and you know, everything pointed to it being the power steering. You know, a lot of the post-COVID voltage regulators have been bad. So, you know, I didn't think that the diff would stay locked. Usually it's the opposite, right? The diff goes, and then you got three-wheel peel, you know? So anyway, the motherfucker is stuck it's locked all the time, and you can see, like, I'm struggling. Like, you can see that the quad don't turn. I mean, you know, I was mad at my tires. I mean, everything, you know. So anyway, I led this race for 3 laps. There was a 4th lap, and the diff was just so wound up, you know, because it's hydraulic, right? The Visco lock, it just wouldn't turn. And what I noticed was, and it's not on camera, but I turned the quad off and I just kind of sit there for a minute, and I guess because either I'm just guessing here, so I mean, cut me a break, but I guess maybe because the fluid kind of like settles and it might even cool down, it allowed me to like basically get out of the woods. But I didn't finish my 4th lap, so I lead for 3 laps. I could have won, but I also synced the quad. That might have something to do with it too. I sunk the quad, and I had about a 7-minute lead on 2nd place. He catches me. I still lead for a lap with the diff completely locked. But I just didn't. It just wasn't in the cards for me. So yeah. But anyway, if you get a chance and you're bored over the winter and you have a couple bucks in your pocket and you want to visit beautiful Georgia, go check out Southern Roots, man. Like, I mean, if all their tracks stay like this, I'll go to more of them. You know, it's a great time. It's nice and warm for any of us guys suffering through the cold up here. So, and everybody's very friendly too. It's a good time. So anyway, hope you guys like this. I'll probably try to I'll put the 1st lap in, and then I'll just kind of like I'll cut down some of the stuff that, if there's anything funny in here, I'll kind of chop it down, so you don't have to suffer through a whole race. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys out there. Talk to you later. someone's gonna fly through it.
I'll pull back.
Down the tape back there. I fucked up the course. I didn't mean to.
All right, we'll take it.
hook it there, it'll rip off.
What's that? No, don't do it on the top one now. Might need to back up to it.
Hold on. Huh?
Tired.
Yeah, no power steering.
Oh, it went out?
Do that too.
That's what I'm
Yeah, I'm just annoyed. Yeah.